Listen, let me tell you something. You don't know what a pedophile looks like till you've been chased by a fucking pedophile, okay? I was chased by a pedophile a couple times. Again, I'm gonna tell you a little story. When I came from Cuba, we lived on 205 West 88th Street. But let's back the story up a little bit. For starters, today we're fucking soft. We have a generation of soft fucking kids. Even as adults, we're soft. How many pair of sneakers you got? I got hiking sneakers and sneakers for when I run, and because they have more padding for my falling arch. And but on my right foot, I have a falling arch. On my left foot, I'm just flat-footed. And the toe, I need more support under the heel. What the fuck are you talking about? When I was a kid, Converse. That's all you wore. Chuck Taylor's like a motherfucker. If a nail went through it, that's it. It didn't matter. You understand me? There were Chuck Taylors, high tops. That's what you fucking... If you wore low tops, you were half a fag, and you didn't get up for the national anthem. You wore high tops like a pimp and shit. So at those times, the neighborhood pedophile, I didn't know for sure, but he just had accusations. His name was Mr.Martini. And he wore like a black suit. He was like 60 with white hair, and he always like was kind of creepy. He hated little kids. He'd always give you a finger and shit. Fuck you, you little motherfuckers. And that's how he bait you. You get into an argument with him. Fuck you, Mr. Martini. Fuck you, and he'd chase you and shit. But I never let it get to that. I went a different route. I used to have my little Converse and shit. I was indestructible with those things. In the mornings, I would take some Santeria pennies from my mother. And I'd get some of my Puerto Rican friends and some of my little dirty Irish friends. And I'd go in front of Mr. Martini's house, and he lived in a brownstone. And he lived in the basement right down here, and I'd take pennies, and I'd throw them over into his little thing. And when the little Puerto Rican kids and the Irish kids would jump over to get the pennies, I'd go, Mr. Martini, suck my weenie! And he'd fucking run out of there and chase us to death. And this guy was 60, but he had cardio like a motherfucker. He would chase us to Central Park, around the lake and shit. He was amazing. He never caught none of us, because the word on the street was, don't let Mr. Martini catch you. He didn't just catch you and rough you up. He beat you up and made you give him oral fucking sex, and he'd finger you. There was kids that were missing and shit like that. What happened? Mr. Martini caught him. Nobody ever saw him again. So Mr. Martini, right? I couldn't believe it. He almost caught me one day. And I'm fucking sitting there watching TV with my parents. And all of a sudden they have this advertising for PF Flyers. That they make you jump higher and run faster. I'm like, fuck it, I'm in. Because now Mr. Martini can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I talked my mother into going down there and getting me PF Flyers. Mr. Martini. She's like, what are you talking about? He's a fucking pervert, whatever. So I get my PF Flyers. Now I'm ready to torment Mr. Martini even better than before. I got a handful of pennies. I get my little Goombas. And we go down there. Let's fuck with Mr. Martini. You ready? And they're like, at this point, they still trusted me. They didn't know. As soon as I threw the pennies over, I was going to holler at Mr. Martini to get us. So I throw the pennies over. They jump over. Mr. Martini, suck my weenie. He wasn't downstairs. He jumped out of the fucking hallway, just leaped at us. And he's on us like a bad motherfucker that day. And he was on fire. He chased us from 88th Street to 127th in Harlem, down to West Side Highway, 12 avenues down, all the way down to 50 fucking 4th Street. We're like 7. I'm looking at these other little dirty bat. I'm like, we gotta kick it up here. We're fucking 7. This guy's 80, and he's on our fucking heels. We lose this little prick, right? We lose him. We're on the corner, 88th and Broadway. It's wintertime. It's Christmas time. They're selling Christmas trees. I'm looking at one of the trees because it's acting a little weird. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, I see 2 hands open up this fucking bush, and it's Mr. Martini in the flesh. But as he jumps over to go get us, I look to see what the fuck he's got on his feet. Because that's what I want. Whatever he's got on his feet, those are the sneakers I fucking need. There were no sneakers. He had these black Jewish shoes. You ever see him? Like Jew sneakers, black with the thick rubber fucking bottom. I ran home. Mom, I want Jew sneakers and shit. And you laugh. Those fucking sneakers today are Nike with the J for the swish. Jew sneakers. Go ahead. I'm not gonna drop fake history on you motherfuckers. I'm like Nat Geo, you know what I'm saying?